Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
It's always nerve-wracking to be back on the dating scene when you haven't dated in a while. We deal with a lot of people that have that problem on the second date update because they haven't dated for whatever reason. Then you finally get it back out there and things are kind of difficult. That's the problem that the guy on the phone is having today. He hasn't dated in over 2 years for a very good reason. Darren, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for your email. Thanks for agreeing to do a second date update. Now, you said that you hadn't dated in 2 years.
Yeah, just about over 2 years because my wife had passed away.
Oh, man. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Well, I had to take the time, and I felt like after that 2 years, I was ready to try to give it a go again. And so I did kind of what everybody does, and I got an online dating profile.
Okay. And the girl that you want us to call today, what's her name?
Her name is Stacy.
Stacy. And what attracted you to Stacy on her internet dating profile?
First and foremost, I thought she was a very attractive girl. And I just really kind of liked how she represented herself there. And we sent a couple messages back and forth, and then we agreed on having dinner.
And can I ask, this was your actual very first date since the passing of your wife 2 years ago?
Yeah, first date in the past 2 years.
Okay.
That's got to be a lot of pressure, and it's got to feel weird to be back on the dating scene. I mean,
I was nervous. There's no question. Full disclosure, I kind of had to psych myself up for it a little bit in the mirror. Just, let myself know that this is going to happen. This is great. You're looking good. You
gave yourself like a coach's pep talk before leaving the house?
Nothing wrong with that. Before I send myself out on the front line. Yeah, just a little bit.
You can do it. Whatever you got to do, man.
I try and do that a little bit every day.
I just kept saying, just breathe. Just breathe through it. Get through dinner. It's going to be great, But I felt like I was ready, and I felt like it actually went pretty well. We had good conversation, and I was a little sweaty.
When you say a little sweaty, how sweaty do you mean?
I felt it going down my back. We could say that, I guess.
Okay. But was it going down your forehead, and was your clothing soaked?
There was some wiping.
Okay. All right, so you were sweaty and nervous. Do you think your date picked up on that?
She did. I kind of had to acknowledge it after a little bit.
Was there like one moment that stands out to you as like the best moment of the date?
Yeah, I guess a nice moment was just sitting at dinner when our entrees came, and I was nervous, and I know I was putting that energy out there, and there was a little bit of a tension, and I just acknowledged it and said, hey, I'm nervous. You are really attractive, and my fault, my bad, and we were able to kind of laugh about it, and she said she understood, and, it just kind of changed how I felt about the evening, and I felt like she was understanding of the whole situation of my life.
That's good. If she wasn't understanding about that, I wouldn't want to be calling her back at all. Sound like an evil person.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how it felt.
On a scale of 1 to 10, since you've been out of the dating world for a little while, what would you give this date?
I would give it a strong 7, 8.
A strong 7, 8. Do you feel like she felt the same way, though?
I thought so. I really thought so. So that's why I emailed into the show.
And how did you end things with her?
I drove her back to her place, and we were saying goodnight, and she had kind of put her hand out, and I'm going to admit, it was awkward. I'm awkward. I can't help it. And I literally said out loud, can we hug? And I just did it before I even got an answer yesterday.
You just jumped in on a hug.
That's cute.
That's all right.
I think
that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a hug. It's not like you said screw it and just like started trying to make out with her.
I'm 6'4", and she's, got to be 5'4". She's, so I'm much taller than her.
All right, so she's tiny and you're a big dude, and you just engulfed her with your big arms.
I guess so, yeah.
Do you feel like that creeped her out?
I hope it didn't. I feel like, that's not going to end everything is a giant bear hug. I hope not. Honestly, I was like, I got to get out of here, not do something else awkward.
How clear were you with her that this was like your first date? And did you bring up that your wife had passed?
Yeah, we brought it up just because she asked, are you dating a lot, or why are you dating? And I kind of had to bring it up. I didn't want to lie and have it be something else. And
totally.
So I just kind of mentioned it, and she seemed okay with it.
Okay. How many times have you tried to get a hold of her after your date?
Well, like 2 days later, hadn't heard anything, so I sent her a text that was just said, hey, it was great to see you. How's your day going? And I didn't hear anything. So I was like, well, maybe I should give her a call. So I gave her one call and left her a voice message that was basically the same.
Did you send her another text like, what about the hug? Don't you remember the great hug? How dare you do this to me?
I did not bring that up again.
Okay.
Do you think, I mean, you haven't dated in 2 years. Why not just, like, chalk this one up to, well, that was the first time out. We're going to give it another go with somebody else next?
It just felt right. It felt right. And, I figured if I think it feels right, I should probably go after them.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and then get your second date update, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, man, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
I don't make this promise very often in second date updates, but I promise that I'm going to get the guy who's on the phone a second date today.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
I promise him, no matter what, because I like him. He's a nice guy. He's been through some stuff, and he deserves to get a date. If not with the girl that we're about to call for him, with somebody who texts in, I don't know.
I think that's fine.
Or if I have to put on a dress and go out on a date with him, I don't care. I am guaranteeing, Darren, that you are going to get a date out of this phone call we're about to make, okay?
I hope so.
All right. You know what? I kind of hope she says no so that I can go out with you.
Yeah, Jewel puts out. So.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in for the second date update, Darren wants us to call a girl named Stacy. They met online. He hasn't dated in a couple years for good reason. His wife passed away, and he was ready to date again. So he decided to go online, and he met Stacy. They went out for dinner. He was a little bit nervous, and that showed. He's sweating and just a little awkward during the whole date. He says the date ended with a very big sweaty hug from him that she didn't really seem like she wanted. So, Darren, you ready to make the phone call?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, man. Here we go.
Man.
Be confident. You've got a 100% guaranteed
Yeah.
success rate
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
Look at it this way. It doesn't matter what she says, Darren. You're still getting a date. Could be with a dude, but you're still getting a date.
I mean, I am a big fan.
Well, there you go. All right. Okay, I'm going to dial the phone number right now, see if we can get her on the phone.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Stacy, please?
this is Stacy.
Hey, Stacy, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
It's okay. I'm fine.
Good. It's good to hear. Just calling to check in on you, see how you're doing.
It's a courtesy call.
Yep. Do you ever listen to our show at all?
I think so. I've listened to it a few times. My mom really likes it.
Cool. All right. How old's your mom?
61.
Nice. That's who we're going for. We kill it with 61-year-old moms. So she's the right person that we want listening. Stacy, have you ever heard a second date update before?
What does that mean?
That means that you recently went out on a date with somebody who listens to the show, and you haven't been calling them back since your date. So they emailed us to get you on the phone and ask if they did something wrong.
Wow, that's weird.
It is kind of weird, but it is a segment that we do on our show, and the guy's name is Darren. Do you remember going out with Darren?
Yeah.
Okay, did you like Darren?
Yeah, I did.
You sound very hesitant, Stacy.
No, he was sweet. I remember he was really nice, and yeah, it was a fine time.
Okay, if it was a fine time, why haven't you called him back after he's texted you and tried to call you?
I don't want to put all his business out there, but it was. I think that maybe we're just not, we're kind of at different points in our life in regards
Right.
to dating and things like that.
Well,
so.
in regards to the putting his whole business out there, we talked to Darren, and he told us everything, that he hasn't dated in a while because his wife passed away. He also said that he was very nervous the entire time and was sweaty and gave you an awkward hug at the end of the date.
It's I don't know. I always think you get nervous at the beginning of the date and you kind of ease into it, but it seemed kind of the opposite for him. He got more nervous as the date went on. He was the most nervous at the very end, and he straight up asked me if he could hug me, and then before I could respond, he just did it.
Right.
So I was okay.
You can understand the nerves, though, if the dude hasn't dated for 2 years because of something like that.
For sure, yeah. And I don't have any ill will towards him at all. I just don't think that we're really compatible in that way. I think.
Yeah, but he was just nervous. He hasn't been out in 2 years. Look, Stacy, I really want to get him a second date with you. That's my goal here, is to make you go out with him again and give him one more shot. Yeah, is to force you to go out with him again.
Yeah, I mean, like, I totally understand the nerves, but it was like, we were talking about his ex-wife, and, you know, I'm completely understanding. I know how it goes, but, like, essentially what he said was that she is watching over him all the time, which at first I thought was kind of sweet, and then he said that throughout the date he could feel her, like, aura or her spirit at the dinner table judging me.
Judging you? What? Did he actually say the words judging you?
Yes, he said the word judging me, and it freaked me out.
Wow.
Like, as if her spirit is jealous, or as in she's hoping things go well?
I took it as, like, she was, like, jealous. Like, she was judging me, like, how dare, thinking that I'm, like, you know, some easy girl, you know, trying to pick up a dude, you know.
Maybe, maybe he said it wrong, and he meant to say, like, I feel like her presence is around me all the time, and she would want me to be doing this. Look, it's probably a weird thing to say either way.
Of course.
But I doubt he was saying, like, my wife who passed away is sitting next to me right now, her spirit is, and it thinks you're a skank. Like, I doubt that's what he meant by that, Stacey.
Well, regardless of any of it, it just really creeped me out.
Did you say anything to him after he brought up the dead wife judging you?
No, it was just weird. It was just really creepy, and I think he just needs to take some time.
Stacey, I hate to get weird on you too, but there is another presence that's listening to this phone call right now.
What do you mean?
I mean that Darren is actually on the phone and heard everything that you just said.
Who's judging you?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
Stacey. Hey.
Look, I had no idea that you would, like, be listening to this. They called me out of nowhere, you know? Like, I'm sorry. I mean, are you okay? Like, are you really upset? Like,
I mean,
sorry.
you know, no, it's fine. It's good, I guess.
Well, I'm really sorry, but I know that you were really nervous, and, like, I felt like I was as patient as I possibly could be, but it's just kind of weird, you know? It's weird to, like, go on a date with somebody and, like, have the person say that their dead wife is judging me, you know? It's like my uncle passed away last year, and I can't just say, like, oh, my Uncle Bob is, you know, judging you. You know? You have to understand how that would freak someone out.
Well, but it was like a good thing. Like, it was good that she was there, and good that, like, she approved of you, you know? Like, she liked you, and I felt like if she likes you, then this is a good thing.
That's kind of weird, okay? I just don't want to know what your ex-wife is thinking.
Well, can we do it again? And, like, we can go out again, and, I mean, I could leave her at home, you know? Can we make it happen?
Look, Darren, like, the whole spiritual thing, like, it just kind of freaked me out.
Look, Stacey, you're really screwing the second date update up for me because I promised Darren that I would get him a second date with you. Will you go out with Darren one more time?
Come on.
I will pay for a second date.
No, I'm sorry. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time, but no.
Okay, well, at least Darren learned a little bit of a lesson here, and, you know.
Sure.
Next time you go out on a date, don't bring your dead wife's spirit, or just make her wait in the car or something.
I guess so.
Yep, and I'm saying that because, you know, the promise I made you at the beginning of this was you were going to get a second date with somebody, no matter who it is, and I don't want you to be awkward when you and I go out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, looks like I got to pick out a nice evening dress, don't I, Darren?
You better look nice.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.